Hello everyone, this is the 54-inch mower deck for a John Deere E180, and I'm just showing you how I sharpen mine. It's not the only way to sharpen them. I'm not an expert, but I've sharpened them for 3 years. I've been sharpening blades on a riding mower, and before that I was sharpening blades for a push mower for 10 years. So I think I got it figured out. Some of you might not like the way I do it, but to loosen the bolts, I like to use a piece of wood, and I'll find a spot where the blade comes in close and block it so that I can get it loose. I put my body against the mower deck so that when I pull, it won't pull the mower deck. There we go. When you tighten these, don't use an air tool or any kind of cheater bar or anything, because you won't be able to get it off when it's time to take it off. This stays snug right up close to the last couple threads. By design, the threads are designed that way so that these don't work themselves off when you're mowing the grass. I just set these here. So these are aftermarket mulching blades. The factory blades were junk. I literally would have to sharpen those 3 times in the summer season. These, when I put these on, they stayed sharp. And even now they're good enough to start again, but since I have the mower deck off, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen them. I can run my thumb across with a good amount of pressure and it's not cutting me. So I've already sharpened the other 2. This has got 3 blades on it, and they're sharp enough that they'd cut me. So that's kind of what I aim for. Would it cut me if I pushed too hard on the edge? And I got an angle grinder that I'll use. I'm not going to take you over to do that. It's just really loud and obnoxious, and frankly my garage is too messy to show you that. But I'll show you the blade after I sharpen it. Alright, so you're going to hear the grinder winding down, but it's sharp enough. If I press on it, it'll cut me. And I try not to push too hard. I don't want to remove, very much material. And there'll be an occasional little chip in the blade. I think there's one on this side. Yeah, right here. That's just from hitting a rock or too large of a stick or something. This aftermarket blades are much stronger than the factory, so it holds up. So anyway, when you put your blades back on, you want to make sure that it's flat on the top and that angle is on the bottom side, as when this is upside down, it'll pull the grass up as it cuts it. There, it's seated in there. Got to use this pressure washer. It just adds it's a cone washer. Just puts force on there without it being on this very inner part. A lot of people have questions as to whether those cleanouts really do a good job. I've had this mower for 1 whole summer. I'm getting ready to start the 2nd summer. And I don't know, I think it does pretty good. If you look at the deck, it's not all jam-packed full of stuff. I'm pretty religious about it. I have missed 1 or 2 cleanouts, but if I've missed any, well, I know I've missed 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure I haven't missed more than that. So I think it does a good job. It's worth doing. I do worry about the water that gets on top of the deck and then sits there and has time to dry while I put the mower away, but there's not really anything I can do about it. It'd be too much of a chore to try and get in there with a paper towel and clean it. Anyway, I think it does a good job. On top of the deck, use a 10 millimeter socket on my drill just to little self-tapping bolt holds this cover down. Two of them. These things protect, because this sticks way out from the side of the mower because it's a 54 inch. So these just protect you from getting shoelace caught in this or whatever. I have a couple grandkids, so if they happen to be around while I'm mowing, I don't want them to come over and get hung up in that, so I keep that cover on. But greasing the spindles is a real pain in the butt. I don't think you can probably see this very well, but way under here is the where the grease zerk was. Well, I found a company that sells these grease hoses that screw into where the grease zerk was and bring it all the way out here to this. And I got two of them here, one for the center one and one for the end, and then on the other side I have one for just that one side spindle, so I can grease it from out here without having to try and get a grease gun in here onto this zerk. It's just really difficult. You end up getting grease all over the place. Since I put this on, there's no grease down here, so it does its job. When I took off the blades to sharpen them, there's a little bit of grease coming out the bottom there, so I know the grease is moving through the bearings. And I probably, if I reach up here, yeah, there's a tiny bit of grease at the top of the spindle as well, so the grease is getting its way through both. A caveat to that is I bought this mower in the spring of 2020 before the first mow needed to happen, and by the middle of summer, two of these were making an excessive amount of squealing, grindy kind of noise. So I took it in and had warranty work. They just replaced the bearings, and there's two bearings on each spindle, so they replaced 4 bearings on 2 of the spindles. And it's after I got it back is when I put these grease lines on. And I come from a trucking industry, and a lot of companies are moving to where they have a remote grease zerk area where they can grease the truck easier. Sometimes when a grease zerk's really hard to get to, people will get a little lazy. They won't maybe check to make sure the grease went in. So by doing this, it's out here right out in the open, you can tell the grease went in. So just a little modification you might consider doing. On top of the deck, I have a steel beam in my garage, 2 of them actually. So I bought a trolley and a hoist, and that's going to make lowering this to the ground a lot safer for one person to do. This hook here can slide, so I'm going to just kind of hold it while I do it. Person who really cares about scratches on the mower deck. hurt my back. That's what I cared the most about. And the trolley just slides out of the way. As I said, my garage is a super bad mess. I have tunnel vision, so I don't see the mess unless I look right at that spot. So it's easy for me to ignore it. But next step, putting this back on the mower. Well, I was going to film putting the deck on, and I kind of forgot. But it's pretty straightforward. How you take it off is how you put it back on. So, this lever back here, can't see it. It is that, where that pin is, that's the hooks to the lever right here to raise and lower the deck. And what I like to do is I hook this this piece right here on. It goes up to the front, and there's a nut up front to adjust the front height. So I like to put that on first. Then I put these on right here on both sides. Then I put this on. And then I come in, and from the front side I kind of force the belt on. And I've already checked it and it works good. But she's runs through everything it's supposed to. I try to keep it all in line. The first time I took the mower deck off, I got the belts all goofed up, and I was able to just find a picture of it online, and then that picture helped me figure out what I was routing wrong, and so I had it fixed in short order. So anyway, this sucker's ready to mow. Before I do, I'm going to change the oil on it. I'll make a video of that. I'll probably actually add that to this video, so stay tuned for the oil change. Well, I was going to film. Hey everybody. So the John Deere E180 has 31.4 miles on it. We're in the spring. It's 4/18/21, and my first oil change. So I've already taken the filter out of the box. It's sitting on the seat here. I got a bag, and the bag that it came in is inside the box, so I can just set the new one in there. Just keep it nice and clean. The oil is still very clean. I don't know if you can see that, if it's coming off well. You can see just a little bit of dark in it, but it's like if this was a car, you would not be ready to change oil yet. Get that in just right. Maybe it's because I'm on the wrong side of the tractor. Anyhow. Alright, so here it goes. Right there. Pretty clean. Nothing, I mean, there's a little bit of oil down in the hole, but nothing that looks crazy. So the new filter, I've already wrote on there the date and the miles, or the hours rather. So you pull this plug off the bottom, and there's a mark here, a yellow deal there. It comes down. So the marks on this don't 100% line up the right way. But that's it. That's the oil change. It felt a little weird. I, worried that it wasn't going to make a connection. So let's fire it up and see if it leaks. my engine was already warm, and so I can already, just in 20 seconds or whatever it's been, the oil filter is now hot from changing the oil, so it changes oil through there pretty quick. Anyhow, I'm not going to show you the rest of it, filter check and all that. This is probably the thing that most people want to see anyway. So anyway, oil change is done. That's how dirty my hands got. I wouldn't eat off them yet, but they're still pretty clean. That's the best oil change I've ever done. Thanks for watching. Okay, so